Hello, what's up, travelers? It is me again, Pebbles. I actually forgot to make this, so I'm gonna make this now because some of you guys actually requested it, and the banner is about to end anyway, so I'm just gonna do my quick and easy updated Genshin Impact build guide for Raiden Shogun for Genshin Impact 4.3. Let's get right into it. For weapons, obviously this is a no-brainer. Engulfing Lightning is Raiden Shogun's best in slot. It offers the best ER to attack conversion, and it makes better use of her ER past the 300% value on your Emblem of Severed Fate set. So if you have this is the only option. There's no other option. If you do not have the Engulfing Lightning, you can use other 5-star pole arms as an alternative. You can use the Staff of Homa, the Primordial Jadewing Spear, the Skyward Spine, etc, etc. Personally, I am using the Primordial Jadewing Spear because it's the only one I have, and I currently don't have the Engulfing Lightning because I'm saving for Primo Gems for the next character. Now, if you're going for the free-to-play option, there is only one thing I recommend, and that is the catch. There is no other option except the catch. Why? Because the catch is free. You can get it via in-game fishing, and you can get it to Refinement 5 also for free. It provides a lot of ER and a lot of crit stats to her burst, which makes it the best 4-star pick. Now, for all you new Genshin Impact players, or if you're an old one that's returning, with the release of Dendro Element, we have access to a new Raiden Shogun, which is the Hyper Bloom trigger Raiden Shogun. And with that, all you gotta do is stack up a lot of EM. So for that, your weapon choices would be either Dragon's Bane, Moon Piercer, Kitane Cross Spear, which I think I have here, this one, and the Ballad of the Fjords, which is this one, which also gives EM, even though it has a crit rate main stat. As long as you have a lot of EM, that's really all you need. Although the Ballad of the Fjords at Refinement 5 does actually provide more EM than Dragon's Bane, it's not sort of efficient because you have to refine 5 this first, and Dragon's Bane you can just level 90 it and you'll get it anyway. For artifacts for Raiden Shogun, the undisputed best in slot set is obviously the Emblem of Severed Fate. It gives everything that Raiden needs: ER and ER to burst damage conversion, which is really good for Raiden. So there is no other option that I would actually suggest unless you're still building up the character. You can probably use some substitute sets, but this is really the set that you should be going for. However, if you are making a Hyper Bloom trigger Raiden Shogun, the 4-piece Gilded Dream set is also a viable pick. Both the 2-piece and the 4-piece is a good pick, along with the Flower of Paradise Lost. Or you can choose a 2-piece combo of either Gilded Dreams, Flower of Paradise Lost, and the Wanderer's Troop. Artifact main stats for Raiden would be, for your typical DPS burst build, would be attack or ER Sands, electro damage or attack Goblet, and crit rate or crit damage Circlets. For Hyper Bloom builds, however, all you gotta do is stack EM on the Sands, Goblet, and Circlet, and then try to get as much high EM rolls on your Flower and your Feather. The Constellations, if you're not going for C6, C2 is the best stopping point for Raiden Shogun. This massively buffs Raiden Shogun by ignoring enemy defense by 60%, and that is big numbers. For talents, if you're trying to go for a burst DPS build, focus on her burst first, then her elemental skill, and then you can actually skip out her normal attack. Although if you're trying to make a Hyper Bloom Raiden build, you only need to make sure that the character is at level 90. These abilities do not matter. All you need is an elemental skill, but if it's level 1, it doesn't increase the damage of the Hyper Bloom. All you really need is EM and her level, so as long as she's level 90, you are good to go for an EM build. For Raiden's playstyles, all you really need to remember is to cast your elemental skill first. Don't forget to cast your elemental skill first before you start any of your combos. The indicator is that little eye there on the top of her head. After that, just make sure that your teammates are actually performing their bursts so that Raiden can build up stacks. And make sure that she has maximum stacks before you cast your burst. Raiden's stacks are displayed behind her via this ring. You can see the status of the stacks as it rotates counterclockwise. So as you can see, this one has around maybe 20% stacks full. The ring will rotate counterclockwise to show you how much stacks she has. And make sure you cast your burst when she has full stacks. So this is how it looks like when it's not full. And this is what it looks like when it is full, with the entire ring all lit up. Alright, now let's talk about teams. Here are my favorite teams that I like to run for Raiden Shogun. First up, we have the classic Raiden, Xiangling, Shangchu, and Bennett team, also known as the Rational team. This team is extremely strong and is actually one of the top teams in the Abyss. What's good about it is it's just made of, aside from Raiden of course, is just made of other 4-star characters, one that are very easy to acquire. You can make an extra strong Raiden Shogun Hyper Carry, to be honest, with this particular team with Raiden Shogun, Bennett, Kazuha, and Kujo Sara. Especially if your Kujo Sara is C6, this team becomes extra spicy and is the source of all that huge 1 million damage number showcases you see all over the internet. A brand new popular one that has showed up with the arrival of Chevrus is to switch out Kazuha with Chevrus, as Chevrus allows Pyro and Electro damage shreds. So the thing with this team is that it adds you an extra 25% attack bonus due to having 2 Pyro characters now. So this sort of evens out having a Kazuha in your team, which is great because now, again, like the national team, you only need 3 4-star characters and just 1 5-star, which makes it a very cheap team and very easy team to build. And for the last favorite team that I like to run, which is the Hyper Bloom team, which is composed of Raiden Shogun, Nahida, Sangonomiya Kokomi, and Beidou. Raiden Shogun and Beidou are not supposed to work together, but for Hyper Bloom, they sort of do. Because Beidou's burst does not touch Hyper Bloom cores, while Raiden Shogun does, making them a pretty decent combo in terms of Beidou dealing damage and Raiden Shogun dealing Hyper Bloom damage. Obviously, you can switch Nahida if you don't have her with the Dendro Traveler. If you don't have her, the Dendro Traveler is a good replacement. And if you don't have a Kokomi, you can pretty much switch this with another Hydro character like a Xingqiu or a Barbara. And that is pretty much it, guys. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe. You know the deal. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay safe out there. Bye.